Hello, and thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to share something with you. Um, we all have a very busy lifestyle, and we don't have much of the time, which is why I'm super excited to share with you that I'm launching 5 minutes or less series, and I'm launching this series to create individual videos for specific questions or concerns that you may have, or scenarios and challenges that I may come across in the past projects that I was working with different customers. Some of the content that I will share as part of this 5 minute series could be part of my training and education programs, or I may create those content individually for a specific question or a specific concern that customers have. The first one that I want to start with is a common question customers are asking. When it comes to cloud, what region is best for my business or my services? When I looked at all the projects that I had done since 2010, I categorized the drivers and the forces that force you to make that decision into five different categories. The first one is compliance and regulatory requirements. If you are operating in a regulated industry, there are certain mandates and regulations that you have to comply with. For instance, if you are in banking, insurance, health, or government, there are certain mandates about where you can store your applications, where you can store your data, and where other application services that interact with your data should be resided. So that's one of the main decision factors. So you need to check if there is any specific compliance and regulatory requirements that you have to comply with. The second one is regional service availability. The cloud providers will not release all of their services in all of the regions at the same time. They start with one region and then they will scale. So, for example, when Amazon released Bedrock, the Bedrock service wasn't initially available in Australia, in Sydney region. If you wanted to use that service and you were not in Sydney, you had to use the US regions, for instance. And then Amazon released that service in Australia in 2024. So look at service availability. That's the other decision making factor. The next one is data service locality. This one is different compared to compliance and regulatory requirements. Compliance and regulatory requirements are an external force that force you to make the decision about where you want to store your data. Data service locality is an internal decision making factor. For instance, if you want to deploy a data protection service and you want to store your customer data in cloud, you may want to store the data in the country that customers are operating to give the customers confidence um, back that, look, we are protecting your data when we're storing it in the same country that you are operating in, and your data is not leaving that country. So that's a decision you make for locality and security of your data. The next one is distance and latency. Where is your largest customer base? Where you want to deploy your application? Is your application latency sensitive? Does having latency will create an impact or have a negative impact on your user experience? That's the other thing that you need to decide. All of your users are in a single region? Are they spread across multiple different regions and countries? So this is another decision making factors that you need to consider. And last but not least, regional service pricing. Cloud providers have different pricing for the same service across different regions. That price variation is driven by different factors. Could be country tax, could be labor costs, could be cost of facilities and operating the data centers. There are many factors involved in pricing services for different regions. But keep in mind that that's the other decision making factor, because depending on the service and the scale of the consumption, that can have a direct impact on your decision making. Even nowadays, that a lot of customers are cost concerned even more than security. And if you have more concern about cloud pricing or cost of cloud services, make sure to check Cloud Cost Insider program, and also make sure you check and get your free Cloud Cost scorecard. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if there is any specific topic you want me to create a video on, or if you have any questions or concerns. I'll be more than happy to create these short videos. We're about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And given we had the introduction, I managed to get this one done on time and in less than 5 minutes for the content itself. Thank you, and I see you in the next videos.